Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, accused pedophile and child sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell is trying to get her New York sexual assault case dismissed by essentially admitting to her involvement in Epstein's crimes and using lack of diversity as an argument. And no, I'm not kidding. Maxwell's attorneys filed documents with the court outlining 12 arguments for why she should be set free and all charges should be dismissed. So here's the first one. As you probably know, Trump's former labor secretary, Alex Acosta, he played a key role in getting Jeffrey Epstein that slap on the wrist non-prosecution agreement in 2008. Acosta was then a U.S. attorney, and he gave Epstein the mother of all sweetheart deals. Epstein had been accused of sex with minors and trafficking young girls, or actually he was on the cusp of being accused of that, and charges levied against him for those crimes, when Acosta stepped in and just stopped it cold. And Acosta gave him that 13-month kind of work release program where Epstein was allowed to leave the jail 6 out of 7 days a week to go to work, and then only had to return at night to sleep at the prison. So part of that ridiculous agreement included the guarantee that Epstein's associates and co-conspirators would face no prosecution. And although specific people weren't named in the agreement, Maxwell is trying to use that as a means in which to get her own case dismissed. So I'm sorry, but how is that not an admission of guilt? How do you say, I've done nothing wrong and this prosecution is unfounded because I'm 100% innocent, then turn around and say, well, you can't prosecute me because the government signed an agreement saying that anyone who had knowledge or took part in Epstein's crimes can't be prosecuted? Which is it? You're either innocent or you did take part in these crimes and there was an agreement that let you off the hook. It can't be both. So this is why I've been keeping an eye on the case that I've talked about here on the show that was brought by some of Epstein's alleged victims in Florida. They claim, and a judge agreed, that Acosta violated their rights as victims because he didn't tell them about the agreement prior to cementing that deal with Epstein. So we're waiting on, I think it's a 3-judge panel, to basically say whether Acosta's agreement can be torn up and thrown out, which would allow these women to pursue charges against people like Maxwell and other alleged Epstein recruiters. It basically would make that non-prosecution agreement null and void. If they can get that deal thrown out, that completely takes away and undermines Maxwell's argument. But here's the other unbelievable argument that her attorneys are making. They're basically arguing that the grand jury, which has been impaneled for her trial and to review all the evidence, is too white. So I'm not kidding. This is serious. This is the argument they made. Quote, "The Sixth Amendment guarantees a criminal defendant a grand jury selected from a fair cross-section of the community. Ms. Maxwell's right under the Sixth Amendment to a grand jury drawn from a fair cross-section of the community applies to the grand jury that indicted her. Here, the use of a White Plains jury resulted in the systematic underrepresentation of Black and Hispanic persons from the jury selection process in violation of Ms. Maxwell's Sixth Amendment right." Seriously? So for some reason, they pulled jurors from this White Plains area rather than New York City. And apparently it was done for some reason because of COVID. But come on. A wealthy white woman who literally grew up in a 53-room mansion. This woman is complaining because the jury isn't diverse enough to judge her properly. Oh my God. You know, if I were the prosecutors, I'd say, okay, yeah, fine. We won't dismiss your case, but we will impanel a new grand jury from a more diverse area. We'll impanel a grand jury from New York City as you're requesting. Of course, in the meantime, that's going to mean a delay in your trial. So expect to spend more time locked up behind bars because there's no way that we can go through the jury selection process, impanel a new grand jury, and then bring them up to speed on everything that's already been covered in time for your July court date. I guess we'll have to move it back another 6 months to a year. Sorry. So let's do it. Let's go for it. I love it. Give her everything she wants. Don't let her out, but yeah, give her a new grand jury. All right, guys, I'll keep you posted on this. Apparently, the prosecutors have a couple of weeks in which to respond to all of these ridiculous arguments. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.